We visited Montreal for 3 days, and overall my impressions of the city were really awesome. I thought that all the different neighborhoods had different feelings to them, yet they were all connected. They all felt really safe. The public transit here was really approachable and fairly easy to navigate. We did have some really hot weather though. It was in the 90s and that was a little bit much, but other than that, we had a lovely time. And this trip was a little extra special because my mother-in-law, Judy, joined us for it. She celebrated my birthday with me here in Montreal. Montreal has amazing activities, a lot of which we didn't have time for. This is a great family-friendly city, and I recommend a visit for anybody who's interested.
We are headed to a coffee spot that looks fantastic, and we walked past the Montreal, so we're stopping in to take a look. So we were gonna go in, but the tickets are $15 per person, so we're gonna skip it and go get coffee.
$15 for an unguided tour of church is just more than I'm willing to pay. That kind of activity. This is the Crew Collective Cafe. There's a cafe and co-working space in this old bank. And the details in this building are just gorgeous. Visiting the top of Mount Royal is an easy, highly recommend because it's free. There's many different ways to get there. We opted to drive by car and park in the parking lot and walk about 15 minutes, or you can hike up from the town. We came in the evening and this was a completely bustling place full of locals and tourists alike with a wonderful view of downtown. Easily a highly recommend.
Today we are doing the botanical gardens, and then we will also do the biodome.
We've obviously missed tulip season. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it already. This is just the first views, so we've just gone through ticket. This is a cinnamon tree. The bark is what we know as cinnamon. And this one is vanilla. I did not know. Vanilla comes from an orchid. Here we have the cardamom plant. There's so many different zones for the different types of plants, and each one comes with some education so you can learn more about what you're looking at. This is the poisonous plant section. Toxic plants. That looks like rhubarb. Oh, the leaves of rhubarb are toxic. I forgot about that. They have a common buttercup in here. I remember as kids we used to pick the buttercup and we would hold the buttercup under our chins, and if it went red, that meant someone had a crush on us. It turns out it would go red because it is a skin irritant. I had no idea.
Turns out the lilac I'm most familiar with is this type, which is just the common lilac. They smell amazing, and I love them every spring.
So this one's the one we've been seeing all around here in Montreal, and the buds are much smaller. And instead of a common lilac, this one's a lilac. We are a little late in the season for the lilac. Some of them are past their prime. In addition to plants, the outdoor gardens include structures and landscaping. This pond is part of the Chinese gardens. The cost of $23 per person for me, I thought was a little bit high, and so I expected the gardens to reflect that, and unfortunately it didn't reach that expectation. That being said, I did have fun. I enjoyed it. I love plants. I just don't know that this is for everyone at that price point. Next stop is the biodome. It's this building over here. Biodome. We're going to the biodome. We're gonna see penguins. The first thing you see in the biodome are just these big white walls, and then there's also the ceiling. But it's very plain in here. And then you enter each individual region. Subpolar regions, we're about to go see the penguins. They were just fed a half hour ago. They should be extra active right now.
This is a puffin.
We're gonna try and see the puffins in Scotland this summer. Puffin! The king ones are so much bigger. How big those guys are. Here we have the tropical forest.
Turtles, tortoise, a southern two-toed sloth,
Oh.
a broad-snouted caiman. Quite an assortment.
The biodome has different biodiversities, and so each section has its own climate and ecosystem that it's representing. You go through and you're able to see all sorts of different plants from that region and also animals, and you get a little lookbook for all the different types of animals that you can find. I found this to be more of an immersive experience because you walk a path that winds through that environment and it feels a little bit more like you're in this environment, which I found unique and fun.
It's raining indoors. I feel like I'm in Harry Potter. I believe these are the piranhas. Don't they just look like they're hunting? They even have capybaras. Capybara. Right now they seem to be mostly resting. This is the Laurination Maple Forest. This section has much more local trees and animals. We're gonna try and find some otters, and we're going to look for the lynx. Raccoon. There's two of them, one's napping. This is our last section, the Gulf of St. Lawrence.
Why are fish so smart? Because they travel in schools.
So the biodome, it really is fascinating. If you look this way, I could be next to a body of water. And you look this way, and you can see the skylights and all of the building amenities. It really is very immersive. So we spent about 2.5 hours here at the biodome. We did end up eating lunch here at the cafe. I thought it was really good, and then I saw the reviews online and they're really low. I didn't think it's a little expensive, but food was actually pretty good. The biodome was super interesting. We really enjoyed walking through all of the different regions and exploring the different animals. So this is a must-see, and definitely not just for kids. All of us adults loved it as well. Bike rental time.
Easy enough.
And Jason, what are we doing?
Taking a bike ride over to St. Helens Island and try and stay on some of the protected bike lanes, see what's going on the island.
Are you excited?
We're excited. We brought our lunch with us and we're going to be relaxing in the shade because it's going to be 90 degrees here today.
Let's go.
We rented bikes on the hottest day that we were here, and yet despite that, this is another highly recommended activity for me. The people at JR Bicycletterie, super friendly, very helpful, and I have to say, I've rented some terrible bikes in different cities. These bikes were actually rideable. We went up and over a big hill to get over to St. Helens Island, and I had no issues. They'd been tuned up and cared for, and it made biking around a really enjoyable experience. St. Lawrence is right there with a nice cooling breeze coming off of it. A little bit of getting out of the city while still being in the city.
Leader of the pack.
We brought our lunches with us and ate them in the shade right next to the river. It's one of those beautiful summer memories that you're just going to hold with you forever.